right. Yeah, thank you for communicating to everyone, Daniel. Appreciate that. Daniel was letting everybody know over here that I was finishing up with a chat with Lexi Savides. I was saying Lexi Savides, trying to remember when I had her on Twit a number of times, and I thought that was how I pronounced it. I meant to ask her before opening it up. But anyways, I was close. I was really close. Hey, guys. Good to see you all. Hello, Clinton. Awesome to see you, sir. Hello, Ozone. Wonderful to see you again. And then, of course, Daniel, you were rocking in the totally hopping live recording of the Textploder podcast with Lexi. No one really shows up to those live recording, and that's fine. It's just like a little bonus that I add for those who might want to join. Yeah, so sorry that I'm a little bit late because I knew that the podcast had the potential of going a little long, and they usually do. Thank you, Daniel. So what's going on, y'all? It's good to see you. I figured I hadn't done one of these in a little while, and yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, with the AI Inside interview that I feel like at this point we have milked to death with Jan LeCun. I've been putting out just tons and tons of shorts. Daniel's actually been helping me with some of that, and I really, really appreciate it, Daniel. You've been really just helping me tremendously with looking at kind of how I take some of the stuff that I'm doing and spread it around in a few, other places in different ways. And yeah, so Clinton, I'm wondering at this point, I'm like, God, are people like, oh my goodness, not another Jan LeCun clip. But like, I haven't really leaned into repurposing the podcast episodes to that degree before. And again, it's just a matter, of like trying things and seeing what happens. And I mean, I will say, for whatever reason, be it, the massive amount of promotion around that, or if it's just the single episode with Jan, because I knew that was going to bring in a lot of people. But for the month, I've seen the AI Inside channel grow by 380 subscribers. And so it's almost at 1,000. And that's great. Like, I'm super happy about that. Because I don't know if y'all know or, know this aspect of YouTube, but in order to do things like monetize the channels, you do need to get them to a certain point. And with AI Inside, in order for me to make any sort of platform money from it, I need to have at least 1,000 subscribers in order to get to kind of the level that I want to get to. But I also need to have around 4,000 public watch hours. And right now I'm about half of that. And that's for the last year. So, so this has gotten me a lot of the way closer. So I'm not, I've still got a ways to go, but really hoping that I can get more interviews of that caliber in so that, they can be kind of tentpole opportunities to keep growing things. So, yeah. But anyways, that's AI Inside. Hey, Lucky. Happy Friday. Lucky Chucky? Lucky Chucky? Is that how you say your first and last name or your handle? Happy Friday. Yes, I am happy for Friday. Hello, Just a Bug Now. Good. I'm seeing some new faces, some new names popping through here. It's good to see the folks that I am used to seeing on these lives, and then to see some new names. I love it. Good to see y'all. Yeah, I guess the other kind of, big moment of the last month has been the Pixel 9a video collaboration that I did with Shannon Morse. And I'd say that went pretty well. It's been interesting, though, here, because I did this last time and people seem to like it. And I don't mind showing off, stats and stuff. So give me a second. I will, I'll pull something up here. Because this like office hours thing is often ends up being like, how are things going for me? But so let's see here. So here's my YouTube studio. We'll go ahead and increase that. Go into content. And then, so Pixel 9a. So 2,432 views, 99.5% likes, 190 likes. Okay, that's good. So, thank you, Ozone. Appreciate that. If it's a bringing in views and subs, keep doing what you need to do. I never shut up about every interview I ever do, so why wouldn't you get the word out there as much as possible? Well, that's true, Ozone. I mean, the reality is, like, with shorts, they might appear more in your feed, but if you don't want it, you just swipe it away. And I think a lot of people probably don't even, if there's a bunch of them coming from the same source, which is the case with the Jan LeCun thing, people probably don't notice that it's a new or an old one. They have to probably just decide like, oh, I'm curious to hear what this has to say, or no, I've seen everything I need, and they swipe away, and it's not that big a deal. I just don't want to I don't want to burden people with like a bunch of content that they're like, dude, just shut up. We know. Hey, Alan B says, do or did you own a Tesla? Have you thought of doing some videos with that? I do own a Tesla. We got a Tesla, God, probably at this point about 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. I can't remember. It's been a while. Definitely before kind of all the stuff that's happened in recent months. Yeah, I don't know. Car content is not my cup of tea. Not opposed to it. It's just not something that comes naturally to me. I don't, normally think about car tech very much. So maybe I appreciate the idea. So anyways, what I was going to say is, so there's the Pixel 9a thing, the collab with Shannon, which was a ton of fun. It was it was a little expensive, only because, as you may or may not remember, the Pixel 9a was supposed to release earlier than it did. And then very last minute, like a day before the embargo was supposed to lift, or like 2 days before, I can't remember, something like that, Google ended up postponing it. The problem is I had already booked a ticket to go out to Colorado to visit with Shannon Morse to do the collab video with her then. And because, air quotes, I never need to change tickets, so I'll just buy this non-refundable and take the discounted ticket price. The time that I choose to do that is the time that I actually should get a refund or, change it, because Google changed the date. And so I ended up having to eat 2/3 of the cost of the ticket then. I was able to apply 1/3 of the cost to the ticket later. The ticket later ended up being more expensive than the ticket earlier. So it was kind of a costly trip, but had a lot of upside. Like, I've never, no, it wasn't my, it wasn't my fault that the Pixel 9a was delayed. That's not what I'm saying, Clinton. But maybe it was. Maybe I put that out into the world by buying my non-refundable ticket. I don't know. But anyways, I learned a lot about what it means to collab on a video, because I had never done that before. And I was like, what does it mean to, like, what does this even look like? And, we kind of came up with the idea that for her channel, we would do an 8A versus 9A comparison. For my channel, I would do a full review. And, Shannon was really awesome. She was like, I just want to see you get more subscribers on your channel. So let's do a collab. Let's do it right. And let's see if we can drive some new subscribers to your channel. And so there was the experience of the collab. There was, all of the subscribers, the influx of subscribers that came in during the month, which I would say the last 28 days, 464. And I would say that the majority of those are probably because of that video. They do come from other sources and everything, but the majority of those is probably from that video. But I have to imagine. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. My hunch is that a lot of here's my thinking. And thank you, RRTO8. I appreciate that. Good to have you here. Here's my thinking. I think that this video probably should have done more than it did. If I'm being honest with myself, or like if I have a goal in mind, it's that I think my moonshot is that I want my reviews to get 10,000. The Nothing Phone 3A did that. It's currently at 12,000. It's a month later, so 12,000 in 30 days. Solid, on point, did that right. This video is probably on track to get somewhere around 3,000 for 30 days. And maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but somewhere in that region. And that's less than my target. It's not horrible. It's not like it completely tanked for my channel. It didn't get like 800 views. But I feel like there was so much potential there based on the fact that Shannon has 130,000, I think, subscribers, right? And part of the goal, or part of the kind of rules, were to say you need to watch both videos, subscribe to both channels, comment on both videos, and then, you know, we'll pick from the people who we can tell. Now, we can't really tell if someone subscribed to both channels other than to ask them to send us a screenshot, right? We also can't tell if someone actually watched, but we can tell if they left comments, right? And so I don't know, like, here's my thought. Here's my rationale on why I think this should be more. Is that if people came over here after watching on Shannon's channel and just dropped a comment and didn't watch, and I'm pretty certain, like, I don't know to what percentage, but I'm pretty certain that probably happened to some degree. Maybe it's a low percentage, maybe it's a high percentage, but I'm sure some percentage of people did that. I think YouTube knows enough to know that people are dropping into a video, leaving a comment, and then leaving without watching a certain percentage of the video. And so what I think happened here is I think that happened enough. Again, I don't know what that constitutes. Maybe it's a small number, but whatever. I think it happened enough to signal to YouTube, hey, there's something going on here where people are leaving comments but not watching. So we're not going to seed this out as much as we normally do. But you know what? Actually, I could probably check that. Let's see how many people were presented the video. 33,000. All right, that's a reasonable number of impressions based on what I'm used to getting. 4% click through. I don't know, it just seems low to me. But this is saying about the same as usual. So maybe it's just standard. But I would think that it would be higher than usual because there were new people coming in. So this is saying typical for 30 days is between 540 to 3.1K. TextFloater episodes definitely skew this. If I didn't have TextFloater on here, this would probably be higher. But it is what it is, and I'm fine with that. So anyways, I don't know. I think I imagined that it would get somewhere in the like 5,000 views, which would be pretty decent for my channel. Anyways, I don't know. That's kind of where my mind is at. But I'm super grateful because I learned a ton about the collab process. I learned what it's like to do a giveaway. So maybe someday in the future I do another giveaway. I have kind of the basis of understanding around how to do that. I did get a lot of new subscribers, and I think some of them are actually here watching the live. So thank you for being here. And yeah, it was a ton of fun. So there we go. That's what I got from that perspective. But what else? What else is going on? It's good to see you guys. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments on the YouTube channel, and I will see a little thing and I can answer your questions. Otherwise, I will just kind of do a little dance and kind of talk about what's going on. Hey, Jason. What's up? Executive producer. Love the short clips of AI inside. I've seen on my YouTube feed recently. Excellent. Okay, so thumbs up on the short clips. That is something that that Daniel here has been helping me with. He's really been helping me with creating short clips. We're using that Opus Clip subscription that I've had for a while, and have a hard time finding time to do. And so Daniel, you've been a really huge help with that. So thank you. And so that's largely what's driving the clips. And then I'm also kind of thinking about, like, if I do an episode of AI Inside, what are the 3 kind of most notable or interesting stories, and then just pulling that out as like its separate, like, longer form discussion clip. And because, overall, I'm just trying to get the AI Inside channel built up, and I think it's working. Some of the clips do better than others, of course. Like this one of Jan. It's 12 hours, 74 views, not that much. This one's been interesting to me. I thought that this was going to do all right. This is OpenAI wants to buy Chrome. This was pulled out from AI Inside, a clip, because I was like, oh, this is pretty timely. People care about this. But wow, it has not done well at all. Hey, but I got a subscriber out of it. So anyways, I'm kind of playing around with it just to kind of see what I can, can I extract more value out of these things without annoying you? Because I don't want to annoy you. I don't want to annoy people as far as that's concerned. So we'll see. But yeah, and then what is King Sumo? I'll show you King Sumo for giveaways, which will cover most of the concerns about interactions. Oh, okay. I feel like I've heard of King Sumo, but I don't know that I've spent any time getting to know it. Drive leads with viral giveaways. Viral giveaways. Oh, this is AppSumo. Oh, I see. Part of AppSumo. Okay. Huh. All right. Yeah. Let's when we get a chance to talk, Daniel, let's talk about that. I don't know when I'd have another opportunity to do a giveaway, because the giveaway of the Pixel 9a, like, that was not like Google sent me a phone and now I'm giving away the phone that Google sent me because I have to send this back to Google. It was actually Shannon is the one that she's like, you know what? I will buy the device. You flew yourself out here. I will buy the device that we give away. So that's amazing. Ozone, what are you doing, man? You're on fire. Reading about updates, making existing issues worse, and the layoffs. I'm wondering about the future of the Pixel. I'm on the 8 Pro now, but I wonder if the Pixel will exist by the time I want to upgrade. My gut tells me you don't have to worry about that. I do not. I mean, now having said that, Google's going through a lot of stuff right now when it comes to, illegal competition in the marketplace and everything. Maybe that impacts their plan. And I know that there was some sort of rumor that was floated probably more than a year ago, that was like, oh, Google has plans to get out of Pixel and everything. And it didn't really make much sense to me then, and it still kind of doesn't make sense to me unless I guess the antitrust stuff that's going on right now begins to push that more and more into the discussion. I suppose then it's possible, but I don't know. It would seem weird to me for Google to put all of this time and attention into something. I don't think that what they have with the Pixel brand is not working. I actually do see people out in the wild with Pixel devices. I think that they've got a pretty strong carrier strategy going in the US. I haven't been into carrier stores in a very long time, but I'm guessing, I see a lot of people who I know who are not into technology the way I am, who do have Pixel devices. So they're getting the message and they're buying into it and everything. So I don't see Google offloading Pixel unless they're forced to. And even that, I'm kind of curious whether they're actually going to be forced to. So I wouldn't be worried. Your 8 Pro, when is that good till? Pixel 8 Pro. I think that's good for another 5 years, right? Update promise. It was 7 years of software updates. Yeah, so you got still 5 years on that. 5 years is a long time, maybe. I guess it's possible. But something tells me you're okay. They are laying off, but they're also consolidating a lot. And so, when they're consolidating departments, largely it sounds like because AI is such a big part of their business right now, as it is for everyone. And, they're realizing these areas where they can kind of group things together and unload. Now, having said that, I have not had a chance to research this story, but Clinton, you bring up Google discontinuing support for Gen 1 and Gen 2 Nest thermostats. They just exited the Nest Protect market. Let's see here. Where is that hitting on Tech Meme? Wow, it's not really hitting high up on Tech Meme. Or where even is it? Is it on Tech Meme? I'm not even seeing it. Google Nest. Sorry, I'm doing this. I had heard that this was happening, but I haven't had a chance to read the story yet. Company is pulling Nest thermostats out of Europe entirely. Unique heating challenges. Oh, man. Google's killing support for early Nest thermostats. Okay, these are devices that released in 2011 and 2014. These are 11 years old at their newest. 14 years old at their oldest. I mean, having not read through this article top to bottom, I'm kind of like, well, yeah. I mean, these things can't, won't live and last forever. So, but clearly people are, this is why you only buy devices that have a local control, local API. I mean, I guess there is something to be said for the fact that, like, if that support goes away, does it mean that these devices are completely unusable? Certainly, it probably means that they're not manageable in the same way, but can you still use them on a local level? Maybe not controlled on your device. I'm not saying that's ideal, but you will no longer be able to control them remotely from your phone or with Assistant. You can still adjust the temperature and modify schedules directly on the thermostat. It's too bad that there's no local Wi-Fi connection to it, that isn't done through a network or a server, a distant server. That's a bummer. But again, these are devices that launched in 2011. What smartphone launched in 2011? The iPhone 4S, the Galaxy S2, the Samsung Galaxy Nexus, which I have on my desk back there. This is a long time. So, to envision devices of that era having support for what we have now, like, it's just, yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of, on this story, I'm kind of like, well, yeah, there is always an end date on hardware like this. It sucks, but 15 years is pretty good. But it does make you think twice, right? Man, somewhere around here I have, hold on one second. So I have the most recent Nest thermostat. Google sent me this for review, and I still have it. I need to send it back because the way our house is set up, like, I tried, and there was no way for me to get it set up with our system. I ended up just giving up, and because I wanted to install it, I wanted to review it. But not if it meant I had to get like a contractor out here and stuff. But I mean, it's pretty. Look at it. It kind of looks like a mirror. It's very pretty. It's a pretty piece of hardware, and I would love to have it on the wall and use it. But nope, doesn't work with our setup. I tried and I tried, and without getting really hacky with it and changing where we have our thermostat mounted and a bunch of other stuff. It was going to cost money, and I just wasn't willing to spend the money on that. So anyways, yeah, now we got some comments coming in. Just Debug Now says, I'll need to get a new phone eventually. My S22 Ultra has seen better days. When was that released? S22 Ultra. That was probably 3 years ago. February 25th, 2022. So it's only 3 years old, and you definitely have a longer update cycle on that. So if it's seen better days, what's wrong with it? I'm curious. Michael, how you doing? I just bought a Pixel 9 for the price they sell the Pixel 9a for my daughter here in France. Solid. My wife has a Pixel 9. She loves it. And it's a pretty phone, too. I think she has the white one, and it's really pretty. Ozone says, to be clear, I really liked my Pixel. Only other phone I remotely like is the OnePlus. But the Pixel feels like it's on rocky ground from the Google side. Hope it's just part of the current uncertainty. Well, there is certainly uncertainty. Certainly uncertainty. Yeah. Michael says, Google will probably kill Nest soon. They don't care anymore of all the connected devices. I don't know. I hope not. I hope not. That would really stink. Yeah, I don't know what to say on that one. I mean, along with the news that broke today, I don't know. I kind of see this as like, yeah, devices get old, and when they get old, you kind of have to stop supporting. But again, I haven't really studied this story on the level that we'll probably talk about it on Android Faithful. Google's offering a $130 discount on the 4th gen Nest Learning Thermostat. That is what I have right here in the US, or $160 off the same device in Canada. So they're saying we'll give you a steep discount on the newer hardware if you want to upgrade. And you're probably already wired for it, so that's good. Yeah, interesting. I have been so busy this morning, I haven't had a chance to tap into the news zeitgeist. But there you go. Call screening, killer feature on the Pixel. Yeah, I know. I get so many spam calls on my phone. Oh my goodness. It's like every day guaranteed at least one, if not multiples. But that big red, kind of banner image kind of comes up. It's awesome. I love it. It tells me, or it skips my phone altogether. Do I have it? There is a way in the phone app to have it just skip you entirely. Oh, but I don't have it on my phone. I wonder why. Scam detection. Do I need to have scam? Like, it's neat. I feel like I'd be able to know if someone's scamming me, though. Like, for better or worse, I'm like, scam detection? My mom needs scam detection on. Do I? But maybe scams are just really, really convincing. And I guess it doesn't matter. I can always just have it on and not worry about it. What else, y'all? I am in the process of reviewing the Moto G Stylus. Although I don't have it with me right now. Where is it? Oh, it's in the other room. And I'm not going to walk away. But I have the Moto G Stylus, and that is yeah, I'd say, I'm not quite there with my full review yet. I'm going to be writing about it for Digital Trends, and then my intention is to do a video for the channel because I feel like I need to get something up. Moto G Stylus, $400. And, with, if you're talking about, smartphone, Android smartphone with stylus functionality, the stylus, of course, embedded into the bottom of the device, which none of these pictures show. That's curious. Hey, $400, not bad. I think the previous versions of Moto G Stylus have veered further into lower end as opposed to mid range. This one kind of coming up to mid range, and I'd say so far I'm pretty happy with it. I think the stylus functionality, it's not an active stylus, so it is a passive stylus, but there's some AI functionality. There's like you can draw a picture with a stylus and then turn it into an actual an interpreted image using Moto AI. And, it's kind of neat to have that on a mid-range device. Doesn't have the absolute best processor in the world, but again, you're talking mid-range, you're making trade-offs and stuff. So anyways, so I've got that I'm working on, and I hope to get that up early next week. And yeah. A little tired. Feel a little tired right now. It's been quite a week. I had my wife's birthday, of which we went out to dinner one night, and then I threw her a party with a bunch of friends. It was a big birthday. It's 50th birthday. We both turned 50 this year. I can't believe that I turned 50 later this year. It's weird. And then Wednesday was my daughter's birthday. And then her party is this weekend. And then we had Easter on Sunday. And then my wife's opening up her business next week. So it's like all this stuff hitting at exactly the same time. And let's just say I'm a little tired. I'm looking forward to some sleep because I feel like I've needed to get up early a lot lately. I hear you, Clinton. I hear you. I'm happy that you keep having birthdays too. Clinton says, I turned on scam detection just for the heck of it, but don't expect the benefit from it. Yeah, that's kind of like what I just did. I didn't have it on, and I was like, well, I guess I'll turn it on. I mean, if anything, I can see if it does any false positives of like, it's a scam. No, it's not. I'm talking to my mom. But anyways, yeah. So what else is new? Oh, something. Tell me if you think this is worth spending my time on. I just out of like sheer curiosity, I was like, you know what I should add to my channel? A playlist of all of my Twit product reviews. So that someone could come and just like watch all my product, go back in time and take a look at some of the old product reviews. Cause I was kind of like, I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder how many products I reviewed when I was at Twit. And, I don't mind that it's a playlist pointing people in other directions. It's still kind of stuff that I did. Why not? Yeah, I'm more curious than probably anyone else will be, but I'm like, I want to put it all into a single playlist so I can look at it and go, oh yeah, I remember that. And, yeah, I did just create a playlist that is interviews when people interview me, because I've got another interview coming up soon of someone who interviewed me about content creation. And so I've got that coming up. And so I was like, well, when this happens, I should, have a place on my channel that showcases that. So I've got that coming up. But anyways, yeah, couldn't hurt. Kyle, what's up, Kyle? Good to see your name in the chat. What did I think of Meow Wolf? It was definitely my first time, and it was a blast. It was awesome. I had never heard of it before. And Kyle is of course talking about Meow Wolf. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like I think when I was there, I was calling it a not haunted house, because it's kind of like a haunted house, but it's not haunted. It's just weird. Like there was one part where we were walking through and I was like, oh my God, this is the city in Total Recall. This is the city on Mars in Total Recall. It looked just like it. Like I felt like I was in Total Recall suddenly. The old one, not the new one. And it's just filled with tons of eye candy and interesting kind of like, if you clue into it on a deeper level, there's like all these like, I don't know, puzzles that you could solve, and there's a whole storyline built into it. It's just this massive place with all of these little rooms. Yeah, it's an interactive art experience. Yeah, totally. I feel like I need to show it. Meow Wolf Denver. But yeah, Shannon knew early on. She's like, I know exactly where we're going to test the cameras. We're going to Meow Wolf. Let me see here. Stop. I will share screen. I'm suddenly realizing how hungry I am. I haven't eaten any lunch yet. I'll have to do that soon. Yeah, you just, everywhere you turn is kind of like a different environment, and everywhere you look is detail. Like there, these cutouts in the wall where when you look at them close, you're just like, there's this whole little city built in there that someone handcrafted, some artist handcrafted. My understanding is they've created these relationships with these artists who basically tackled certain aspects of this experience, and you just wander through and you discover things, and it's just amazing. Like, it was really, really cool. I absolutely enjoyed it. And you can see there's like all sorts of different ones all over, the US, Houston, Grapevine, Texas, Denver, Santa Fe, Vegas, coming soon to LA and New York. And, maybe I can, the Neon Metropolis. Will this show, let's see here. Great place to test low light performance on smartphones. And everything's just huge. I mean, it's multiple stories high. If you're up at the top, you're looking way, way, way down. There were a couple of times where I was taking pictures with the 9A and I was holding onto it with both hands because I was like, I do not want to drop this because it will shatter when it hits the floor 5 stories down. Yeah, it was so much fun. And all this interactive stuff, you go into certain things and you kind of, you like turn a crank and it changes something about the atmosphere or the kind of layout or whatever over there, or something triggers on the speakers. The whole time you're there, it's this like really soothing kind of ambient kind of style music with different sound effects and stuff. It was really, really cool. I have to say, it was fun. And it makes me want to check out all the other ones. And apparently they're all different. So they're all kind of similar idea, but completely different on the inside. And they each have their own kind of themes and storylines and everything. It was very, very neat. So that's what I think about that, Kyle. It was awesome. It was much, much fun. Yeah, I think they have one in Vegas, right? Yeah, they do have one in Vegas. In fact, I'm curious what the Vegas one looks like. Maybe this will jog your memory, I guess. They have these like marketplaces and stuff with fake products, and it's just done really well. It's like it's a total like universe that you step into. The branding there is unified between all the different places, so they've got their own, their own kind of brands and stuff. Yeah, pretty awesome. Omega Mart, right? That's what it was called. You go to the Omega Mart and different like doors that you'd think it was just a wall or just a display, but if you knew to pull the right thing, it's actually a door, and then it lets you into a certain place. All right, see you later, Just a Bug Now. Good to have you here. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, Daniel, it's awesome. If you ever get the opportunity, you should check it out. It is a ton of fun. Oh, see? Yeah, very interactive. Such a good time. And I think it was perfect for what we were there to do. We wanted to test the low light performance of the cameras. Of course, you can check that out for yourself. Go to Shannon Morse's YouTube channel. She probably has the better photo comparison, although I do touch on that in my review on my channel. But yeah. And then let me think, what's coming up? So got Google I/O next month. Looking forward to that. Always do. I need to book my hotel. I'm staying one night. I'm going to get up super early and drive to get there for the keynote. And then I'm going to stay that night. And, I'm sure, as we've done for years now, I'm sure the Android Faithful team are going to possibly have an interview with someone from Google, hopefully someone higher up to talk about kind of some of the stuff. Seems to be the case now. We kind of get that opportunity every year. We're certainly invited every year, and I think that's in the works, so we'll see. And then, I'll have to see, is there some content that I can create around that? Trying to think what else. Yeah, I don't know. Possibility of going to DroidCon in New York. We did that last year, and that was a ton of fun for Android Faithful, and it's still in the early stages, but it's possible that might work out. So that would be fun. Yeah, lots of things, lots of plans. I feel like there's something else. There's something else that I wanted to run by, but I can't remember. Because like I said, I'm starting to realize how hungry I am. It's starting to hit me. Yeah, I don't know. You guys got anything? Any questions? And no is perfectly fine too. Oh, I just think I'm running out of steam after almost 2 hours of podcasting. Still writing, did a couple of pieces for ZDNet and for this month. And actually, I think probably what I'm going to be doing more of is, product reviews. But I did a kind of, and I will, Daniel. It's just a couple more minutes. I promise till the top of the hour, so I will keep that promise. I did this article that was just like 10 settings to change on a Pixel phone when you get them. And I did that, and they really liked it. And they're like, can you do more of these? And so I'm going to do more of these. And the cool thing about these is like, this is something that when I do the research for this and write it, I basically, it's pretty easy to turn this into a script and then do a video around it. And so, I think I want to do that more. I do find that it's getting harder and harder for me to feed the YouTube channel with content because I'm doing so many different things. And again, it comes down to I can shoot things, but editing takes time. And so, hopefully in the upcoming months, I'll have, more directions that I can tap into for that. But anyways, so you'll probably see more of these. And then I think my review of the Moto G Stylus is going to Digital Trends. So there's that and all sorts of things. So what time is it where you're at, Daniel? Isn't it like super late at this point? Well, I guess it's only 12, almost 1 o'clock here. So it's probably like 9 p.m. your time. Are you 8 hours ahead? Somewhere around there? Okay. Yeah, so I was about right. All right, so it's not too late. Well, cool. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to listen to my body and I'm going to eat because I'm starting to kind of get a little lightheaded. And I thought I ate enough before the Techsploder podcast, but it takes a lot of energy to like open up a mic and talk for 2 hours. And sometimes you just burn through it quickly like that. So Clinton, thank you for being here, man. Good to see you. Happy to know that you're happy and healthy and everything's good there. Daniel, you can get to watching your evening time videos, whatever they may be. Ozone, thank you dearly, sir. I really appreciate it. Good to have you here. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the super chats. Kyle, great to see your name flash by as well. All of you guys, you're my team, and I really do appreciate you. Michael, if you're still here, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this and figure out what I'm going to eat. I don't even know what I'm going to eat, but I got to eat something before I eat this microphone. So, all right. Thank you for being here, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.